you starting right now? What's going on?
Yeah, we're starting. Why shouldn't we start? Are you ready?
Right.
See? Mike's always ready. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting for the Funny.
What's up?
It's your host, well, co-host, Johnny Espo, comedian Johnny Espo. If I have to tell you I'm a comedian, well, I'm not doing my job correctly.
At this
Also,
point.
Damien,
What's up?
comic Damien, what's your Instagram? Let's do that
Oh my
first
goodness.
at the beginning.
That is exciting.
No, yeah. Well, we always forget to put our shit up front. So you can find me at Johnny Espo on Instagram, at John Esposito on Facebook. And if you can't tell, we're going old school today. I'm trying to roll a blunt.
It's not gonna go well.
No, this is not going to go well. But go ahead and tell them where they can find you and where they can find us here at Shooting for the Funny.
So you'll find me at Comic Damien on Instagram and Damien Speranza, also Comic Damien on Facebook. And if you ever want to reach out, any questions or anything like that,
No, reach out. Not want to reach out. Just reach out.
Reach out,
We
give us
need
some shit to talk about.
questions. I mean,
it's shootingforthefunny@gmail.com. We are lucky
I
enough.
can't believe off.
Oh my God, he's so excited.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how horrible this is going to go. But let's see what's happening here, kids.
God, I'm so ignorant to this stuff. I don't even know what happens next.
All right, so where were we?
Yeah, so we're lucky enough today to have Big Mike back.
Nice,
Helping us out.
Thank you, Cap.
A little shout out, Mike. Yeah, man. So that's our information. I'm sure we'll repeat it one more time by the end, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, so in case you didn't catch it last time, what we wanted to try and do is we wanted to start getting some stories from you guys that you've been dealing with during the quarantine. Just things that have frustrated you, how you guys
Fuck
been
that, just
feeling.
in life. It doesn't matter if it's quarantine. Listen, we've all been affected.
Quarantine's been life. I mean, there's really not much outside
Yeah, but
of
there was
that.
life before quarantine, was there not?
I don't even remember what that life was like. But yeah, so just hit us up with some stuff, maybe that's frustrated you, some stories, things like that, so we can read them, talk about them on here, maybe pick them apart a little bit, just have a little fun with them. So it's at shootingforthefunny@gmail.com.
Come on, call. Just
Yeah,
even if you wanna
call
us
the email.
assholes.
Call the email.
Even if you want to call us assholes, just do it.
Mm.
You want to start, Bubba?
Oh man, it feels good to get back. Like being back on stage,
It's awesome.
touching the mic again. I mean, I know not everywhere. A lot. No, I know not everywhere has been as good as Connecticut's been.
Yeah, Connecticut's been great, thank God.
But just even back out in the world, man. Just being able to go to restaurants again and sit down and be fat.
Yeah. Do you? Congratulations. Fuck it. You know what? You want to say sit down, be fat? He's lost a lot of weight. This tubby little pug.
Oh yeah,
Tubby little
35 pounds. I
fucker.
look less Hawaiian now, more Puerto Rican. That's not a fat joke about Hawaiians. I'm sorry. Yeah, but just being able to go back out and do things, man. Like just enjoying that shit. Like that's what I missed. I missed being able to go to a restaurant for lunch.
Yeah.
I missed being able to go to the movies, which I still haven't obviously been able to do yet. Just taking my kids places, doing things. Like it was just going to work, coming home. Going to work, coming home. I needed things.
Yeah.
So-
And by the way, everybody, I'm smoking peanut butter today. I don't know. I think it's a hybrid. I'm not quite sure.
I love peanut butter, not the weed, but the actual thing. Did I ever tell you how I eat peanut butter? So, this caused me a
How you
problem.
eat peanut
Yeah,
butter or
so-
how your dog eats peanut
No.
butter?
All right, listen. The dog doesn't need the peanut butter. He's already trained. So, I get peanut butter, and I will take a spoon and I'll twist down the middle of the jar and like dig a hole and eat from the middle. I don't know why I just started doing that.
How old are you? You just started doing
Well, I
it.
don't know. I mean, it didn't
Why-
do when I was little. I mean,
how old
as an
are you?
Adult, 37.
And when did you start doing this?
A couple years ago, I guess.
Why in the actual fuck did you need to start doing this?
I don't know, but
in your
let me
30s?
explain. So I dig down the middle. So there's like a little tunnel down the middle of the peanut butter, right?
To stick your dick in.
Okay, so I never went there, but apparently some people do because what happened was one night we had a friend to babysit, and when I came back, she was looking at me weird. She didn't say anything. She was just seemed a little awkward, a little uncomfortable, and then she left. So the next time I saw her, I was playing rec volleyball with a couple people, whenever she was there, and she came up to me in private, and she's like, "Listen, I gotta ask you like a serious question." And I was like, "What's that?" She goes, "What's with the dick hole in the peanut butter?" So apparently she had gone to get peanut butter and thought that I was like fucking my peanut butter jar, so she was super uncomfortable around me for like a whole week because she thought that's what I did for fun. So
Well, I would be too.
I don't know. I mean, that wouldn't have been my first thought. If I went to your house, there was like a hole down the middle. I just would have thought OCD, but maybe I'm not as dirty as you. I don't know. How's that going over there?
Horribly.
I'm thinking the ceiling fan probably isn't helping.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's see what happens. I think I might.
This is the most focused I've ever seen your face.
I know. Actually, I think I might actually be fucking doing this, homie.
Well, I mean, practice makes perfect, right?
I've never done it before.
No?
No.
No. All right. This looks like the grossest way to set up the smoke weed. With all the things you could do nowadays between edibles and vape pens and all that other stuff, this is literally...
I brought my vape pen just in case I couldn't get this shit done.
This is literally the grossest way to...
All right, so we're wasting time
watching you...
watching me fucking try and
COVID
do this
all
shit.
over that.
Oh, yeah, we're... What?
Nothing? Nothing? You, go ahead. Deep throat it all you want. You're too good
No,
at that.
it makes you uncomfortable.
You are too good at that. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, it's a tiny little thing.
That's what she said. What?
Not to
Anyway.
me. She said, "Are you in yet?"
Oh God! Is it just the tip? I feel.
But go ahead.
So thirsty.
Where do you want to start, Bubba?
Well, I think you should start because you have done more stuff than I have recently with some
Okay,
of the Zoom
so
stuff.
when we left you guys last, we were going to start doing some Zoom shows, which I've done two. I did one with Kenny Wu. Well, we were both supposed to do that one, but
I had to put my dog down, so I had to take the night off.
yeah. Take the night off. You cut Cora once off.
Yeah, but it was a rough night in the household that night trying to explain to a 3-year-old where her dog is.
Dead.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to use the word dead, and eventually I did, but
He fucking died, all right?
Well, really, it's his own fault. I mean, he bit her in the face, so he had to
Well.
Second time, he had to go. It is what it is.
So dog's dead. He couldn't do comedy.
Yeah, I was
Anyway,
all
it went well. Zoom shows are interesting.
I don't like him.
Have you done one?
Well, kind of. We'll get to that in a minute.
It's okay, and here's why. When you do a regular Zoom show, you can actually, if you have the people turn on their video, you can actually see them laughing and smiling and all that fun stuff, so you know if your jokes are kind of hitting or not. I did two of them, one for Kenny Wu, an artist up, and one for Gucci Ballerina. Yeah, interesting name. That's the one the family
Yep.
family member does a
Sure, a lot of people.
joke. Yeah, but I was the only comedian. It was nice being the only comedian, but there was some definite, let's see, poetry, spoken
Yeah.
word, and then there was, well, interesting.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of sounds and spaceships and.
Oh, that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it was
So
fun.
there's probably some virgins on there. I mean, you could say it.
I don't think so.
You just don't want to offend anybody.
No,
Alright.
it was definitely could have been.
Yeah, okay.
But
Fair
they
enough.
actually, you know what? And I did. You know what? I was actually pleasantly surprised with that one. I thought I was gonna get not in trouble, but I did it during June, which is Pride Month. And I have a joke that you can do during Pride Month, and it actually hit. I think it hit. They asked me to do it, so in the pre. I gotta get this thing lit. Excuse me 1 second.
Man, it's like the second time that you just
What do you
go off
want,
camera for
man?
your nothing. Go
What do
ahead.
you do? This is part of what I do here,
You just
fucker.
go out in the hallway and spark that shit up and come back in.
If this wasn't a public place, I would.
Go ahead. They don't give a shit out here. There's nobody in the building right now. It's just us and Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
I'm housing this water. Oh my god. I can't take that shit. Jesus Christ. It's killing me. Anyway.
I'll praise.
Yeah, anyway. That's why I drive separately to New York.
So it's fun. You know what? At the very least, it's the ability to get on a microphone and work out the shit that you've been reciting over and 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 over again for the past 4 fucking months.
I will say that it was cool to come out of. So we did. Monique Latisse is a comedian out of Paterson, New Jersey. She's got her own comedy club. I think I said this last time that it is the first black-owned comedy club in New Jersey. I think.
I thought it was in the U.S. Am I wrong?
I don't know. That's a lot of space, and I have one black-owned comedy club, but it could be. But anyway, so female black-owned comedy club. She reached out and asked if I would come down and help her out with her grand reopening because she opened literally right before this quarantine.
Like the
stuff
week
went down.
before
Like,
COVID
yeah.
hit and everybody shut the
And she
shit
hit
down.
hard, strong. Like she came out the gate swinging. She was packed. She had a good time. Then everything shut down. So I know New Jersey's rules are different, but they're allowing some small gatherings. So she just had to open up, and it was a combination Zoom and live show.
Like half capacity. They're allowing half capacity from what I understand.
So I hit her back and said I would gladly do it. I have no interest in doing Zoom shows, but I would do it for her because I'm from Jersey and I want to help
But it
support.
wasn't even a Zoom show. She broadcast
Right, but it was
over
both.
Zoom. It really was. It's so
And-
different though.
No, it might have been, but it was also there was only 7 people in the room because it was trying to get this stuff back up. So you were basically doing more of a Zoom. Thank God we had those 7 people in the room because I remember driving
Yeah.
down with you being like,
I hope there's at least 5 people.
yeah, I just wanted 5 people to look at, to interact with, have some fun,
And they were great.
Yeah, and no, so I mean, I hit her up, said I would do it.
And
I
actually in the
mentioned,
trash.
John was available. She's like, have him come down. The headliner was Kareem Green.
It was hysterical if you haven't caught it.
Yeah, good dude, man, good dude. But yeah, so we had a really,
It could be rough on the crowd. If you don't want to get fucked with, don't sit in the front row of his.
yeah.
Because he's got great crowd work and flows right into his bits, but he definitely can get. I've seen some crowds get torn apart.
But he was good at it. He didn't really.
Oh, he was
yeah.
great. It was the first
That
time
he didn't
anybody.
get into anybody.
He's got some great shit coming out of COVID.
Yeah, but that was the thing I was gonna say. So to me, the fun part was coming out of this, going up and just knocking the rust off and trying new shit. Like I think we both ended up. I think it was about 10-minute sets or whatever. And
I didn't do all new, but I did.
no, but you threw out some new material and
Yeah.
gave it a shot. I mean, it's not like we went out practicing. And we both did well. I mean, the
I
people in
thought
the
so.
room were laughing pretty hard.
They
I mean,
received it very well.
Monique was very happy with what we did, and even told us at the end of the night to, if we ever want to come back, we're more than welcome, and anytime, just let her know. So obviously we did something right,
Well, I'm friends with you. That's what I did. Right. She likes you.
Ah, it's all right.
And
That's how I
not
feel
that she
about
doesn't
that.
like me, but he's that. I don't know, man. You've definitely come. I'm not any worse. I don't know if I'm any better. But I feel like you've definitely gotten a lot better. I'm never happy with my sets anyway, even
But
when I
that's,
do well.
that's how you're supposed to be. Just constantly trying to improve.
No, true.
But I think for what it was, I think we both did really well, especially coming out, not being in front of a crowd for 4 months.
Well, I had been too, though. I
In
had
front
been
of
in
a crowd?
front of a crowd. Yes.
Oh,
I
you did
went
the
out.
outdoor stuff.
I went out with Kenny and did 2 in one day. We did a drive-in private show. What that means is, they set up in a parking lot, set up cars in a parking lot. What my house is called? I've been actually in here, but I don't
Might
want
as
to
well
set
keep
fucking
going.
nothing to fire. Well,
All
you
right.
guys are firemen anyway.
Yeah,
Fuck
water,
it.
fate, you're fine.
So
Trying to kick the table again, though.
that wasn't me. That was your. I just went on the floor. Fuck it.
Okay. So you were saying 2 shows
So
back to back.
the drive-in, they arrange the cars around a stage. You put on headphones and you talk into a mic, and everybody hears in the headphones. And it's kind of fucking weird because you can also hear when you're cutting out, when the mic cuts out on you. So it kind of fucks you up a little bit. But I had a great time. It was actually my first mic back, I think, and it was a blast. Smokey was there. Smokey Suarez was put on by Mook Diamond. Joe Show was the host. Danny Deuce did a great job. I think her name is Amanika McLean. She was fucking hysterical. She was a guest set like me and Danny Deuce's, but she ripped it, and she was getting high. The way you can tell if you're doing well is the flashlights and honk horns, or you can see him laughing through the windshields. Man, she was on it. She tore it apart. It was great.
Nice. How long did you give me?
I did my full set.
5, 10?
I did about 5, 6. I'm not gonna shit on the head.
No, I'm saying,
You don't,
they're giving you time, I was
the
just
one
curious.
thing, if they're giving you time and you're a guest set, do your short set because you still have a feature ahead of you and your headliner. Don't fuck with your headliners.
I'll tell you what. So it's always interesting to me though, because we've had a couple of times where we've asked the people putting on the show, like, so how long you want? 5, 3, 7.
Let
you
it
want?
rip.
Yeah, just let it rock. And it's like,
Well, we're coming out of COVID. Everybody wants to have a good time now.
yeah. But it's funny because when they say let it rock or whatever, you're like, all right, well, I'm just gonna keep going, and I start getting to that 10-minute mark. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I should probably get off the stage soon. You know what I mean? Especially because there's
I
going to
don't
be
know
a
if I've
headline
gotten
coming.
that 10-minute mark, Bob.
No, you did. Yeah.
What? Not
did it, Monique's?
here. Did I?
Yeah.
Was I there for 10 minutes?
Yeah, your Monique's you on there for 10 minutes.
Really?
But that's what happens too when you start getting more comfortable with your set. You slow down and you take the pauses where they need
Well,
to
that
be
was
and
nice.
everything else. So
So let me get back to that night
Yes.
though. So later on, we were supposed to do, after the drive-in show put on by Mook Diamond and Joe Shaw, we went and, first of all, Stanley Dubois put us onto this other show, which was a social gathering picnic, okay? It was a cool fucking setup, okay? You were on a deck, and it was this gigantic open fucking field. However, Kenny had to host because Stanley met us in Queens, or Brooklyn, I can't remember where we were, I think it was Queens, and then got lost going out to the other show. He thought it was on Long Island, and this fucking show ended up being up by Bear Mountain. Completely different fucking places. So he got there so late, we had to start the show. Kenny did a bunch of time. Then he put me on for 5 minutes. Now, I had a good time. Definite language barrier because it was, and I mean no offense, it was all Islanders. It was an Islander show, and when I say Islanders, everybody's from the island. Like there was
Yeah.
barely English speaking, so there was a bit. Had a good time. They received me very well. You know, I started off, huh?
only white guy there?
Yeah,
Attaboy.
yeah.
Attaboy.
And you started off with, hey, does anybody feel more awkward than I do? And they loved it, loved that. But then I didn't expect there to be little kids there.
Oh, I can't do that.
So then I started feeling the crowd started feeling me. I start getting amped up, and all of a sudden I hear, yo, PG-13, PG-13. I'm like, I don't really have any of that PG-13 thing you're talking about. So I cut it short, but it was kind of a fun disaster, if you will.
Well, sometimes you need that too, just to keep
Yeah.
building up the skin, big skin.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people all the time. I mean, about the urban rooms, like they're tough, man. They don't give a shit. If they don't like you, they're gonna tell you. But if they like you, it's the best
Go.
shit in the world. Because they'll hug you, high five you,
Like Sherwin says, get up, run across the fucking room all the way back, high fiving 47 of their friends on the way there.
It's amazing. It's amazing when they're receptive to you.
Yeah, it's
Luckily,
not
we've had more of that than the other. But what I will say is, so
we need to get more of bombing. I just honestly.
well, I think that goes back to trying
Not
some
that
material.
Well, that's true too.
You know, what I mean, we've been working on the
Not that
same
we're killer.
5, 10.
I'm not a killer by any fucking shakes, way, no short way or form. But we've done well for
The amount of
where
time.
we are. You know,
Yeah.
I'm never happy with my set. I've said it 100 times.
No, but I think a lot of it, like I said, comes from the trying new shit. Like, and that was what was cool. Like I did my first callback joke. I came out excited to try that, and it went pretty well,
Yeah.
you know. But there's definitely room for improvement. I think that's where the bombing comes in. Is just knowing you're gonna do some rooms, where you're gonna try some things. But here's the other side of it: is you're never gonna go all new anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're gonna start off with something that works to
Yeah.
get them on your side.
Put the first two bangers.
Yep, and then you throw in some new shit, see how it goes, and then you try and end on something that you know works. That
Yeah.
way, you start off with a good impression, you leave them with a good impression, and whatever happens in the middle,
You worked in the middle.
and that's what I mean. So
You built-
luckily,
you built your set.
we have enough, I would say, now, where we can place a beginning and an end and know that these work, and now we can fuck around in the middle.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens.
I can't wait to have a gardening joke I want to try. I really want to try it. I've heard it said. I think it's going to
I
I think it's going to
think
land
you should.
very well.
I think you should. I think
But-
it's-
We need to give shout outs. First of all, to Artist Up. She is
Good people,
doing
man.
in
Good
Bronx every Tuesday, open mic.
good people.
Um,
all kinds of art
and
forms, not just comedy. All
Most
kinds.
likely there will be comedians there ahead of time, writing, talking, chatting with younger comedians. It's kind of what this and
It's a space to help everybody
yes,
grow.
and it is a spoken word
Yep.
poetry as well.
And I think music, right? I think music.
I have no
I think there's
idea.
music too. I think it's for any kind of art form that you're into. You could come there. You bring fellow artists in that same arena, and the whole idea behind it is to be more supportive open mic than some of the ones that maybe we're more used to, where no one gives a shit and no one wants to give any honest feedback. They just worry about themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a
We'll
nice,
start a trend.
yeah, it's a nice, nice
That's what
place
I like
to go.
about Mocha, though. At least you will get feedback there. What was Mocha Cafe run by Smokey Suarez?
that
I don't
was-
know
that was
what the
tough.
story with that is. It's a tough fucking room. But if you go enough times, you get to know the people and you'll get feedback, whether it's feedback you want or not. You will get creative feedback. However, you still have to come back 30 other comedians
Yes.
that are vying for the, well, quote unquote, adult in the room's attention.
Yeah, everybody's there for Smokey's attention.
Yeah, and every other seasoned veteran that goes, because
There's usually a couple
Dude.
head, yeah. Couple
throughout the
headliners.
years, some of the greatest acts out of New York City have rolled through that room a million times.
Well, I was just listening to what Gary Owen podcast. He had Kevin Hart on, and he was talking about his coming up. And Kevin Hart shouted out Rob Stapleton, Smokey Suarez, Capone,
Yeah.
all those guys that run in that same circle and do some of the same shit. Like that show you're talking about this Saturday is, I think Stapleton's there, Brady
I
John
think
is there,
yeah.
Suarez is there, Imagine I think is there. So it's like a
Oh shit, that's right, Matt.
it's like a banging lineup of
I
like
really
headliners.
hope I'm going to support, because I know Kenny's going to get on that show, no problem.
Right.
I'm hoping I get 5 minutes.
I'm gonna
I
pull out
ate shit in front of Imagine. Like, I bombed so bad in front of that. Like, I should have just hung up my fucking, I should have hung up my spurs and went home. But I'm looking to at least redeem myself, sort of, in this guy's eyes. 'Cause he was nice enough to put me on early on. I never made it back to this room before COVID. I kind of want to show my ass a little bit.
Yeah, I get that.
He's a very well respected urban comedian.
Yeah, he's been around a while.
100 years. I hear fucking every so often some of these podcasts you listen to, like the History of Hyenas, Andrew Schultz, those guys. I hear him mentioning his name.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I wanted to touch on too was the outside comedy. So
Divine?
we did Divine. So it was supposed to be Divine and Chalk and Shy. Shout out to both Divine and Chalk and Shy.
Shy had a death in
Yeah,
the family.
Shy was
I'm
unable
so
to make
sorry,
it.
Ron.
But that was my first outdoor show, and I gotta tell you, man, that took some getting used to because the laughs they
Gotta
just
get
go
closer.
up and out. You know
I
what I'm saying?
know.
And then so you went first, and you had a good spot because the lighting was still. So we had a late start.
Yeah.
It poured on us for a while, like the rain came down. But luckily, everybody was dedicated to
We
the
were
show.
supposed
and
to
they
be
stuck out.
ending when we started.
Yeah. So John went up first, still had some natural sunlight, which was awesome because you can still see people
Yeah.
and interact. And then when I went
Then they
up,
brought in the Home Depot job site light.
that shit was
Got
in
Lenny
my
from Home
face.
Depot to deliver it.
Oh my god, dude!
Thank you, Lenny.
I couldn't see shit. It was just straight spotlight in my face. I had, cause again when they laugh, like you don't hear it. It just goes
You have
out.
to
There's
peek
no-
around.
Yeah, there's nothing for it to bounce off
Yeah.
of, whatever.
At least in a club, the light's coming down, so you can still see
Yes.
out a little
Instead
bit.
of at my eye level. Like I thought I was being interrogated. Like, why are you here? Like,
Hi.
it was horrible. Not that I wouldn't do the show again because I had a great fucking time and the people were great. But it was one of those things where I only had to my right was one tent that I could see with like 7 or 8 people in it that I could see without the light. So I did a lot of my set peeking
Yeah.
this way to see what the reactions were.
I was very lucky in the fact that I was able to, what they call prowl the stage. I was able to work back and forth from each different side. But that's because I was able to see the crowd, which was great. And then
That's
Lenny
the
had to get
difference.
called in.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, I will say, see, because I'm
It was
so
still
much.
fun to get an
Oh,
open
it was,
mic.
no, it was, dude. First of all, you did a great job on that show. That was probably one of the more.
I watched the
polished sets,
video. I was not happy, but
but
good.
that was one of the more polished I've seen you. Where you took your time, you hit your punches, you did the pauses at the right time.
Yeah, but I
like-
still need harder laughs. I need
yeah,
better
but that'll
laughs.
come. It's just for what it is, for not really doing a
I'm
lot.
just hungry.
And then, for me, I was nervous when I got off because I didn't hear a lot, I couldn't see a lot, so I kind of
You
felt
helped me
shitty
with
getting
that
off.
set though. And the reason, because you helped me change the punchline to the sister-in-law drug dealer
Oh
joke.
yeah, the direction.
Yeah.
But that's what helping each other
Well,
out is
yeah.
supposed to be. But
Which is, if you're gonna do comedy, get a fucking partner.
oh yeah, you need
Helps.
people that you can trust and talk to.
Listen, and someone you're not gonna truly compete with. There's never really an air of competition
No.
between the two of us. There's always gonna be something, like he's gonna get something I want, I'm gonna get something he wants, or we're both gonna lose something, or we're both gonna get something, but we just have to be happy for each other. The big problem is there's been so much shade in the business for 100 years,
Yeah, well,
and it's
it's a-
becoming way different.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I like the urban rooms is because these guys are willing to spend the time and talk to you. Mainstreams are getting like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's starting to be obvious that if one succeeds, all. I mean, you look at what we've done. So, I mean, Monique's room is a perfect example. Like, you know, I ended up making a connection with Monique. We get along. I was able to bring you
Yeah,
in.
that was
how
cool.
many times? And then to me, I'm doing return the favor because how many times did Kenny get me on places because of you? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Now I've earned
But
some
that's
favor.
Kenny. No.
But I'm
You
saying,
earned every bit of it.
but my point is, Kenny gave me a shot because of you.
Yeah.
And then I was able to show that, okay, I'm worth giving a shot to, but I wouldn't have got that first shot without you. Because if you remember, the first shot was Kenny bringing me to an actual show. It wasn't like, hey, my boy's going to be at this open mic, go check him
Yeah.
out. It was like, hey, there's a show, tell Damien to come down, I'll give him 5. And see
Well,
what
no,
happens.
he had seen you at Mocha before too, though.
Yeah, but that was not good.
No, but
That was
he at
not-
least knew you're working and trying. So
Right,
it's
but
not
I'm
like he
saying it
hadn't
wasn't
seen you at
good.
an
I
open
mean,
mic.
it wasn't good enough for him to say, hey, let's give him 5 minutes on a show based on what he saw at Mocha.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, you know, let's give Damien a shot, and then I did okay at, you know, Don Poncho's. And then the second time I went to Don Poncho's was for the show you guys put on, and that's when I killed. The first one was, I forgot who put that on, but it was just more of like, I went, I did a little bit, he was standing there, I remember watching, he's like, oh, he's got some good stuff, and then a couple weeks later was
Yeah,
the
okay.
big one. So, but point is,
His memory's better than mine anyway.
wonder why. But the point is, you help each other out, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of been our MO right now, you
You're the
know?
wind beneath my wings. Man, I fucked that one up.
That's all right. I got what you were trying to say, and I love you too. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, I think that with the world, like people are starting to be more creative now. Rooms are starting to be created outdoors. The Stand is going back to doing comedy on their front porch.
That's cool.
What Ray DeJean has going on this weekend with Rob
Very
Stapleton
cool.
is going to be another one down in what, Brooklyn, I think it is. Maybe the Bronx.
I just realized who's gonna be there if I get 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot of
My
people.
butthole just puckered. No, it's Rob.
Yeah.
I want him to do really
I
well.
know you do.
I
Because
forgot.
when
him.
Salsa opens back
Yeah.
up, you can get in on that. That was another one. But no, I mean, I think ultimately
Fuck.
we're going to keep getting opportunities.
Mm.
We got to keep producing when we get them, but we also got to take the time to try some new shit and build on that. You know what I mean? There's no reason that we shouldn't be able to do a 15-minute set over the next couple months. You know, build
Yeah.
some stuff in and do a 50. I mean, we've gotten up to 10 without having a shitload of reps. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, oh yeah, they gave us 10. And like, oh, that's not a lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
Try making people laugh for 10 straight minutes, and then tell me it's all. Because it's not like you can't fill 10 minutes with just bullshit of people not laughing and you get bored. You're lucky if you get 15 seconds to set up for your next punch. It's just too like 10 minutes is a
Unless
long
you
fucking
are
time,
a masterful storyteller,
which takes time. So and that's always
Even Mark Norman, I would keep hearing. If you don't know who Mark Norman is,
Funny as fuck.
Google him.
funny as
He's
hell.
huge. I've heard him and Bert Kreischer go back and forth about Norman starting to do stories. And he's like, no, I'm good with the punchlines. So it's a daunting task.
Unfortunately, that's the style that I'm drawn to, where his is more set up punch. So it's
But I'm trying to get there, dude.
no, but I'm
There's
saying
that
it's just,
jizz
it's-
disco joke I want to do. God, dude.
We'll work on it. But I mean, that's the point, though. It's you need if you're gonna tell stories, you need to combine both because you got to throw those punches into stories. It's
Yeah.
just find the right places to do it. But I think it's also been a fun thing for us because our styles are different. So the notes that we're getting from each other are like, how do I help you describe it better
Yeah.
and make it more of a bit?
Yeah, how do I
Yours,
get
like, how do
you-
I punch up what I'm already
Yeah,
saying?
it's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? So it
Well,
kind of works.
Works for me.
You know, Like just changing words, like you having me change a word from exaggerated to oversold. You know, just things like that.
It's just taking a word a lot.
Right, but I'm saying that's more of like a punchline thing. Where it's like, okay, well, here's what makes the punch stronger. You know, for me, it's like we just talked about it. We changed the direction of one of your jokes from like the world's worst popular being like a vegan or a vegetarian to being
Yeah.
like a bad doctor.
Yeah.
And how to stretch that out. So it's, you know, the styles work together if you can trust the person that you're bouncing them off. You know, that's the biggest thing. But I'm constantly thinking about this fucking Saturday show now, and it's really irking me.
I had a point that I wanted to bring up. There's a new podcast I'm listening to, Commissioner of Comedy with James Matter. He's been an opener, an audience warm-up guy. He is a professional comedian, a professional working comedian. He's open for Giannis Pappas. He's been on History Hyenas. I know he's open for Chris DiStefano. He's a feature. The guy eventually will be a headliner. But he's one of those like Angelo Lozada type, where he worked hard, did amazing work, only you didn't hear about him. And really, unfortunately for Angelo, didn't hear about him until the end of his life. But he's the perfect example of a working comedian. He's always doing something with entertainment and comedy.
Well, that's sorry, make your point before I change the subject.
I can't remember my fucking point. Change the
Keep
subject.
smoking that weed, squirrel. So the thing I was going to say was, so I've been listening to Whitney Cummings' podcast called Good For You, and she's had a lot of comedians on, and she's told this story twice about Greg Giraldo. I don't remember who that is. He did the roasts, always hilarious.
Passed away, correct?
Yeah, well, suicide, I think it was. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure.
There's been a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, comedians are damaged fucking people. I mean, really. I can get into my history and be like, that makes sense. But point is, she had said that on the roasts, everybody used to joke about how Giraldo could never get a show passed on TV ever. Like that was what they targeted for. Like, oh, we better get this roast over before it gets canceled because Giraldo's here, that kind of shit. And one time he was on the red carpet for an event, and one of the reporters was nasty and asked him the question. He said, "Oh, how does it feel that you can't ever get shows passed?" And his response is, "When did it become such a failure and embarrassment to be a working comedian?"
It's not. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like people forget that's not. You're not doing it just for the TV shows or to get in the movies. Some people just like it and like to make a living doing it.
I'm doing it because I love it, and it's part of my retirement plan. I don't expect to be rich and famous, but I do expect to one day to be able to make constant money without having to break my back, which I currently do. I'm not going to be able to do that at 55, 60 years old. I'll be able to get it done, but my body's going to hurt like hell. I eventually want to retire to several months in Greece on a kind of comedy off season. So why the fuck not? I love it. So like I said, perfect example of working comedian. If I can make good money, great money, and these guys make great money.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, even the guys that we've come across, I'm not gonna put out any names, but I've heard them talk about stuff that they get, and they're getting like $150 a show. They do 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. I mean, you're at what, 3-6, and then they do a show on, so you're at $750 in a weekend. And that's doing like these bar shows. That's not even doing like.
But at the point we'll be featuring for bigger names.
No, I'm not saying.
I'm not looking to fucking do bar shows during that time. I'm looking to make good money doing it, but
Gotta sell tickets.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm.
Or be in front of the guy selling
Would I
tickets.
love to be a headliner? Yes, that is one of the goals. But if working comedian is where I get to, I've hit a pretty damn good goal.
I can't think of worse ways to make money.
I hear a walkie-talkie.
It's a scanner. No.
Oh yeah, we covered that last time.
We did, but again,
Fuck you! I will keep smoking my tweeds.
I'm just saying that's what happens.
Well, listen, people
tune in just to see you smoke.
No. People manage things with pharmaceuticals. I like to smoke weed. If I could ever get a lit again. But I don't think so. Listen, what else we got, man?
I don't know, man. How long have we been talking for?
34 minutes.
Oh, man. I don't think the weed is making the time.
I mean, there hasn't been much going on.
No, I mean,
There hasn't been any heckling at any of the shows.
because everybody's happy to be back out, man. Nobody wants to, Jesus.
I got it.
You are so desperate.
Not desperate. I just want to get my
God.
money's worth. Fuck you.
Apparently. I'm getting your money's worth. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's really not a lot, dude. I'm not trying to get into any political shit today.
No, I mean, there's a lot. Listen, we're lucky enough to live in a time where we are getting to see history being made. It's a great thing. That's all. Honestly, that's all I'm gonna say because I'm a dead center. I'm a dead center, dude. Listen, I'm a gun-toting, pot-smoking American, but I don't do them both at the same time.
Yeah, that he'll admit to on camera.
No, never. Come, stop that. That's not even fucking. You know how I roll with gun safety, bro. Big time. If you heard me talk about gun safety, you would swear I was a fucking Republican. Well, an actual Republican. Anyway.
Just because it's on the top shelf of the cabinet doesn't mean it's safe.
Dude.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know you're on top.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of shit you just shouldn't say these days. That's part of it. You're an irresponsible
It's like the
gun
last time I tried to paint you as racist.
Yeah, dude, please God.
I can't help it. Things start to come out. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Lack of
luckily
filter.
everybody knows I'm not fucking right.
Well, yeah, and I mean, this is a fucking two comedians. You'd assume that the shit we're saying is probably not serious.
Yeah, no.
I mean, except when I say I love you. That's just, from the heart. Or it's the weed, the secondhand smoke. I don't know.
He starts questioning his sexuality like another comedian.
If I
we've
start
met.
licking my lips at you, we're gonna be in trouble. Tell you right now.
So, on
But
that
yeah,
note,
I think we're good, man. I think that's a good way to touch base.
all right. I think we're gonna start doing this a lot more regularly. Let's shoot for shooting for the funny for once a month, like we had been doing, and let's see if we can evolve with this business. See where the fuck it takes
Do
us.
some skits soon too.
Sketches.
Skits.
People
skits,
get made fun.
Sketches, whatever. I don't fucking. We're gonna do some shit that's gonna be funny on camera. There you go.
Yeah, we Smokey talking about that. We'll reach out to him.
Reach out to anybody. I don't give a shit. If you want to be on, hit us up. We'll make it work.
Oh, let's do sketches.
Yeah.
Anybody
Come
wants
on
to do it,
down.
let's fucking do it.
Come
Let's
on
have
down.
fun. All right, again, Johnny Espo at Instagram and John Esposito on Facebook. I am thoroughly stoned on that. Where are we going to eat?
I don't know. We'll find something.
Shit's finally open in Connecticut.
We'll find
I got a 2-hour ride home.
Well, I'll feed you. We'll feed you. And then Comic Damien on Instagram and Damien Speranza Comic Damien on Facebook. Hit us up at shootingforthefunny@gmail.com and feel free to give Mike a shout out when he emails. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Have a great day.
We out.
Peace.